everyone. Welcome to Exiles TV on this Tuesday morning. We were supposed to be in the throes of Marco by now, but Marco completely dissipated. I've never seen that before. Have you?
I've never seen a storm so torn apart by wind shear. I mean, Marco's actual center of rotation was in one place, and all the actual storm associated with Marco was like 250 miles off to the northeast.
Looked like a giant meteorological comma.
It's just that wind shear just tore the top right off of it and then just tore it to pieces. You and I spoke yesterday morning, and that's what you told me. He says, Marco's being torn to pieces. Don't worry about it. It's all over with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, we are here in Baton Rouge. We're going to be giving you information for all of South Louisiana because we are on Cox and Allen cable systems, basically from west of Lafayette, Evangeline Parish, all the way through the Mississippi border, below I-10, and so a little bit above I-10 as well.
And we're on AT&T UVerse as well.
Yeah, so we're trying to give you as much information as we can right now. This morning, Tropical Storm Laura cleared Cuba, and within an hour and a half of clearing Cuba, getting into open water, has become a hurricane once again. There are some people looking at the models who are saying that it may come ashore as a Category 3, which is a big wind field. Even as a strong 1 or a 2, the wind and rain effects are going to be very large, starting at about 2 a.m. on Wednesday, because this is a big storm and it is not getting compact. Mm-hmm. It is staying big.
And it's picking up speed, too. Right now, moving north-northwest at 16 miles an hour. Expected to be even faster than that by the time it moves closer to shore. So keeping in touch with it, we're looking at best guess for landfall sometime Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. And if it stays on its current projected path, the center of that cone of guesswork.
Uncertainty, I love it.
Yeah,
we're not certain.
The cone of somewhere around the Texas-Louisiana border, we're thinking, or maybe just west of the Texas-Louisiana border. But that still is going to create an incredible rain and wind field that we will definitely be feeling the effects of, I think, here in the capital region.
Yeah, if you see us looking to our right, it's because we have a very large monitor off camera taking a look at the Weather Channel. They, of course, are doing their best as well. If this is any indication of where it's going to be bad, Paul Goodloe is in Houston right now. Mm-hmm. I want to know where that so-and-so Cantori is.
Cantori and Stephanie Abrams were both in Lake Charles, which is a pretty good guess for the closest city of any consequence near where landfall is expected to occur.
Yeah, but again, this track is moving a little bit west. It's probably about 40 miles west of the state line is going to be kind of the bullseye. But you just never know. Think back just 2 days ago, when we were looking at Marco, and it started making all of these changes in its track. Mm-hmm. Every 3 hours there was a change, and sometimes it went back and forth. So we're going to keep an eye on all of this for you.
Well, and I noticed Laura yesterday as it was trying to move west and clear Cuba. It did almost like a little cha-cha-cha move, where it went forward, then it went cha-cha-cha back to the east a little bit, mm-hmm. Made a little loop, and then started to move forward to the west.
A little southern dip wouldn't hurt.
Something we've seen, but yeah, a southern dip would take it further west, and then it would be more the state of Texas's problem. I don't wish that upon anyone. But right now, looking at possible 110 mile per hour winds when it makes landfall, mm-hmm. That's going to be rough.
Yeah. It looks like most of the greater New Orleans area, for those of you who are watching us in the river parishes and in the Florida parishes and in the North Shore and in New Orleans Metro and Plaquemine Parish, it looks right now like impact is going to be negligible, but, and there's always this big but.
There's always a big but.
It's still 600 miles away. And there's a lot of open water there. And there's a lot that can happen to direction in 600 miles of open water. Right now, they're saying in Lake Charles, 110 mile an hour winds projected. In Evangeline Parish, 74 miles an hour winds projected. Same for Lafayette. In the Baton Rouge area, just skirting the Baton Rouge area, 35 mile an hour winds. Again, that is still projection at this point.
But we hasten to add that it's over almost 48 hours before landfall on this thing, and it could change directions again. So we don't know. I mean, what if that northerly turn happens sooner than we expected? Then it could come ashore solidly within Louisiana, and the capital region could be under more of a threat.
It could be a Hurricane Andrew scenario, actually. Mm-hmm. Come in right in that little notch by New Iberia.
Yep. That
could be very bad. Anyway, we have got a whole bunch of numbers and information for you in our next segment. And then right after that, Mike Steele with GOHSEP, the Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness, will bring us up to date on everything they're doing and all of us should be doing. Again, we are coming to you from Baton Rouge. We are all over South Louisiana. If you've got friends, relatives, people you care about, Lafayette, New Iberia, Houma, Thibodaux, tell them to turn on the TV now and look at the cable guide for KPBN, and we'll be providing a whole lot of information coming up in just a moment on Exiles TV.
Taste the feeling. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Back. This is Exiles TV. Thank you for spending some time with us. We're going to try and provide you the most useful information we can about Hurricane Laura. As Bill mentioned in the last break, Laura had only just gotten nicely clear of Cuba and out into open water when it strengthened to hurricane strength. Right now, maximum sustained winds are 75 miles per hour, and it's moving west-northwest 16 miles per hour. A whole lot of Gulf of Mexico and a whole lot of 87-degree water to move over on its way to Louisiana or Texas.
Yeah, I want to remind everybody that the United Way operates a 311 information line that is good anywhere in Louisiana. You can dial 311 and you can get up-to-date information on things like emergency shelters, sandbags, what medical facilities may be open, whether or not there are evacuations in your area, all that type of thing. It is a vast storehouse of information. I actually tested it on the way up here to the studio today, and it got answered very quickly. I got very prompt responses. So wherever you are,
live operator.
yeah, live operator.
That's
311. So there you go. Going to give you some Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness contacts in the various parishes. We're not going to do all of them in this segment. Let me just give you a few of them, and I got to put up on my glasses because the print is a little fine.
This is very stylish.
Yeah, thank you. In Allen Parish, it is 337-639-4326. And, of course, the website is going to be like this on all of them, allenparish.org, okay? So I don't need to go through that too much. Beauregard Parish, you are looking at 337-460-5447. In Calcasieu Parish, 337-721-3800. Dick Grimion, who is their director of the Emergency Preparedness Office there, has been very, very forthcoming with giving all kinds of info. In Cameron Parish, again, another guy who's been very, very good about getting that information out, Danny Laverne. The main number for the office is 337-775-7048. And let me get all the way down here on the list to Vermilion Parish. That is 337-898-4308. And we'll go through all the rest of the potentially impacted parishes as we continue today. I just didn't want to give you a list of 30 at one time.
Now, those are for your parish offices of emergency preparedness, OEPs, as we like to call them, and they can help you with things like, what is closed, what roads are closed, where can I get sandbags if I'm afraid of flooding, and situations like that. United Way is going to have, the United Way 311, the Red Cross, rather, is going to have information on sheltering as well as the state.
And that's all the various chapters that serve everything basically south of I-10.
Now, for those of you watching us on Cox Cable in New Orleans, you can reach your Red Cross. Well, redcross.org if you're using the web, but if you want to pick up the phone, they have an 800 number at 800-229-8191. You can also, wow. I love when
they were in a hurry.
Yeah, I love when the people go by
hot
coding.
Product.
Also in the greater New Orleans area for the Red Cross, you can reach them at 504-620-3105, 504-620-3105. Now let's move over to Lafayette, which is liable to get a little bit more fearsome as far as the tropical storm force winds, etc.
Yeah, and the Lafayette area, by the way, is served by the Capital Area Red Cross, but they do have a local number with the chapter in Lafayette.
So if you're watching us on Cox Lafayette, 337-234-7371. That's in the 337-234-7371 if you need to get information from the Red Cross.
Now, again, we've got a lot of information. We're going to try to dole it all out as we get through it. But if you've got some specific questions that we may have a little information about, you can always use our regular number to call us. Kevin, you have it committed to memory, 225-831-1029.
And there it is up on the screen. Thank you, Jonathan and Katie.
If you've got any questions at all, we've got some fairly recent information, but you also may have some information to add to us. I know that what is left of Marco is still putting a little bit of wind, a little bit of rain into the greater New Orleans area. Here in Baton Rouge, we have looks like rain clouds that are gathering, but they're not moving much.
It's dark out there. I mean, it's overcast and it's thick. It's a thick overcast, so that we're losing sunshine. But so far today, it's only been drizzly.
Yeah. But anyway, we're going to try to bring you as much information as we can. Your information helps as well, 225-831-1029. Now, we've also got the Baton Rouge Red Cross area, which serves a great big capital area. Did we give that number out?
No, I haven't. In the capital region, of course, redcross.org if you're using the World Wide Web. But if you want to pick up the phone and call them, they're in the 225 area code. That number is 291-5 291-4533. That is 291-4533, area code 225.
And I forgot to tell you, there are 2 more numbers on the back. I used very large print, so I ran out of card.
This is relevant. Okay, if you're in the river parishes between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, you can reach the Red Cross at 985-785-0647. That's 985 area code 785-0647. On the north shore of Lake Pontchartrain, communities like Hammond, Ponchatoula, in western St. Tammany and more, 985-892-4317. That is 985-892-4317.
And again, for those of you that are in the North Shore, we still haven't figured, I don't know if National Weather Service has yet calculated whether or not there's going to be any storm surge that gets into Pontchartrain and then, like the Pearl and the Tchefuncte and all that.
I would expect as much, at least minimal storm surge coming in from Pontchartrain, Lake Bourne, Lake Maurepas, and getting up into those tributaries.
So you all are going to have to know a little bit.
Or just tributaries.
Yeah, a little bit about that as well. We'll get the information to you as quickly as we can. A brief break. When we return, Mike Steele from GOHSEP on set with us. You stick around.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Welcome back, Exiles TV. Glad to have you with us. We are tracking Laura. Marco has been torn apart. Yeah, Marco is really not a
Torn
factor.
apart.
Torn apart, broken heart, off it goes. But Laura...
It's gone all James Dean. You're tearing me apart.
Yeah, Laura's beginning to look like the woman you should have divorced 3 years ago. You know, you knew it then, but now it's coming home. Joining us, Mike Steele, who is a communications manager for the Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness. And Mike, I know you all have been very, very busy.
Yeah, a lot of activity for us started probably about the middle of last week when we were looking at these two systems, and we were talking about it, how many crazy, paths these storms have taken and just the changes overall, and it's really, it's kind of kept everybody, the public and us kind of scrambling to keep up with it. There was a weather forecaster, I think on the Weather Channel, maybe Saturday, and he was saying, this has been really difficult because we've almost gone out of forecasting, and we're more just doing like play-by-play at this point. And that was exactly right. Usually you see them be somewhat accurate on that track, a long ways out. It's the strength of the storm that it's still a challenge, but usually they're much ahead of it on the track.
Marco basically being sheared, which I guess is the proper term, which tore the top off of it. And did that allow GOHSEP and all the people that you have involved to restage things westwardly rather than having to wait to see how it happened and then try to move things west? For we know there's going to be an impact west.
Yeah, so the goal with any of the resources and the utility crews that come in and all those types of things, you want to get them close enough but keep them just out of harm's way so that they're ready to roll in. So the other thing is, over the weekend, we kept hearing that these things could hit so close together that you may not even be able to get utility crews on the road because the winds may not die down enough. And so there was a lot of scrambling behind the scenes with buses possibly being used for evacuations and those type things. They, initially were in southeast and southwest Louisiana. Then they pushed everything more towards southeast. Then they had to go back, more towards southwest. So it's really kind of been a challenge on all those fronts.
Now, there's no reason for the governor or GOHSEP to be embarrassed by this, but I remember the governor on Sunday afternoon saying, whatever preparations you're going to make, get them done by sundown, because that's it. We had no idea that Marco was just going to magically go away on us like that, and it was bearing right down on New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm glad it did, and I'm sure there's a lot of other people that are glad it did, but you're only as good as the information you're getting in from the Hurricane Center and from the National Weather Service, and those guys are great. I mean, they really are helpful and everything else, but when you're getting those dramatic shifts in the track and the forecast and everything else, I mean, there's not much else you can do. It's all, still better to be over-prepared than under-prepared, no matter what you're facing.
I think what everybody's worrying about now is storm surge. National Weather Forecast, National Weather Service and the Hurricane Center has had 3 different storm surge models in the last 24 hours, and I get it. We just don't know.
Right.
What are you all prepping for, and geographically, how far are you prepping for storm surge?
Well, I know everyone at our office kind of feels like we're not out of the woods completely, on storm surge issues on southeast Louisiana. It may have grown better, over the past few days than what it was looking like for a while or whatever. But I mean, I'm sure that the local offices and at the parish level and everything, they're still kind of ramped up for whatever they may face. You have so many areas, around Maurepas and Pontchartrain and those type areas too, in addition to the rivers and everything. So I know I wouldn't, if I lived in one of those areas that was prone to those type problems, I wouldn't be, letting my guard down, I guess.
Well, from the size of the storm, though, it looks like the tropical storm force winds are going to be out there a good long distance.
Right.
So that means possibly significant storm surge in places like Grand Isle or in Morgan City. I know it's moving off to the west towards the Texas border, but, Lake Charles and that area is going to see, storm surge coming in. What has there been a mass movement of material to the west to try to help out with this?
Part of what's being done, and we still have the pandemic going on. So even the evacuations have been just, all over the board when it comes to, working with those parishes. If there is kind of a silver lining, and I don't mean this in any disrespect to the people of Southwest Louisiana, but you don't have those big population centers like you would in
Yeah.
Southeast Louisiana, which is a kind of a benefit or whatever, but you still have to help people out. I come from a TV news background, and I covered Rita for about a month after it hit, and all things look pretty similar in regards to this system as far as the strength and where it could be making landfall and everything, and it was catastrophic. Like, I know a lot of people in Southeast Louisiana were still trying to put their lives back together and maybe don't realize how bad it was, but there was hardly a building left standing in areas like Cameron, Johnson's Bayou, those type areas.
Yeah, well, and again, you don't have the big population centers of the Baton Rouge metropolitan area and the New Orleans metropolitan area to evacuate, but you don't also have the big transportation resources.
Right.
So it's kind of a wash.
Yeah, and so we're looking at different hotel options for the people that do need some type of assistance evacuating, and that sounds like a great plan, except for the fact that you can't maybe get meals to those people like you could if they were in a larger traditional type shelter situation. So there's all kind of challenges, and we've been looking at all these things all summer. It's just you can plan, but then you have to react when you know what the target and when you know what the focus area, the impact area is going to be. Until you know those things, it's hard to set everything in stone.
Well, and again, what do you do, if it looks like the wind field is going to be, let's just say in the Lake Charles area, way north of I-10? A lot of your hotel options are now taken out of the equation.
Yeah. They're actually looking at hotel options back over in this area now.
Sure.
Because when you look at the storm and then it takes that dogleg right, as soon as it gets into North Louisiana, let me tell you, the utility problems, I think, are you're going to have the surge problems along the coast because that's all marsh area. Once you get in Lower Vermilion, once you get in Cameron, some of those areas south of Lake Charles. So there's going to be surge issues if it's 10, 11 feet of surge over in those areas. But the utility problems, I think, are going to be a major challenge because you have nothing but trees, in that whole Vernon Parish area, Leesville, up to Alexandria. So if trees start going down, you're talking about 100-mile-an-hour winds well inland, depending on where this hits. And so there's so many trees and power lines and everything that could be down that it could be a major battle.
So we may have to, if we have to do large venue sheltering, or has that been ruled out in favor of using hotels?
It's not ruled out, but we're kind of treating it as a last resort.
Because you can't social distance in a big venue.
And you can, but you're just not going to be able to put as many people in there. You don't want to take people out of a hurricane's harm,
and put them in harm's way of COVID.
Right. So that's basically what it comes down to. So if there was a little help with Marco, it's the fact that we started sending that messaging out basically at the end of last week, like, don't count on shelter operations, evacuate on your own, start talking to maybe friends or loved ones in a different part of the state, get those things ironed out. So I think that's helped a little bit, and you're only talking about a certain percentage of the population that usually needs that support with sheltering. A lot of people already have those, relatives or whatever the case may be, lined up ahead of time.
This may be a better question for Mike Strain, but we still have in Calcasieu and Cameron and Jeff Davis parishes, Evangeline Parish, we have got huge crops in the fields. We have still got rice in the fields.
Cattle.
We still got cattle.
That's right.
We still got soybeans in the field.
Yeah.
I think we've probably still got cane in the field. Has anybody looked at the devastation to agriculture in that little west-south block?
So I know with the cattle, traditionally, at least when I was covering storms over in that part of the state, they usually start getting the cattle out way ahead of time. We still saw instances where there were, animal rescues needed. I remember guys being on airboats, standing on the front of an airboat with a lasso trying to get cattle rounded up.
I remember some of those visuals.
And there were alligators in the water and just all kind of things that were just unbelievable. But usually, compared to what we dealt with in 2016 with the floods, both the flood here in Baton Rouge and the flood in the spring that hit other parts of the state and everything, at least with a hurricane, you do have several days notice a lot of times, before these things start to move in. So they're not like these short notice events. So, but, I've got friends that are in the sugarcane industry, and I know you just have to get through it. You have to see what federal assistance and everything is available, and then kind of move on from there. But I mean, there's nothing really you can do to stop it, I guess.
I'm going to assume that they have evacuated all the drilling platforms in the Gulf already.
I don't know that, but yeah, I would think that's a pretty safe assumption.
Yeah.
Or at least let's hope they're in the process of doing so.
Yeah, they don't have much time to get them off.
Even in the Cameron area, you just about, I don't know every other business, but a large percentage of the businesses down in that area support, the oil and gas industry and everything too. So I'm sure there's a lot of movement at all those facilities.
I heard someone, and I can't remember if it was National Weather Service or someone from Louisiana, talking about this storm surge, if it reaches even 8 feet at the mouth of the Atchafalaya will backwater. Mm-hmm. I don't think that has ever happened, has it?
I don't remember right offhand, but I do know there's a lot of concern when you're talking about Vermilion Bay. That's so shallow that I know when I was working in Lafayette, there was a lot of concern about Vermilion Bay just basically pushing all the way up towards the Lafayette area, because there's just nowhere for that water to go. Once the winds and the surge and everything get to a certain spot. So hopefully everyone's kind of taking those precautions now, and we're less than a day away from probably seeing a lot of those big problems develop.
I'm looking at some storm surge numbers right there on the screen, and they're looking at 11 to 17 feet.
Oh my goodness, right. It's gotten worse.
Yeah, in the area of like Cameron Parish and Vermilion Parish and Calcasieu.
And that's all marsh. A lot of people may not be familiar with that area.
Flat
but
as a piece of paper.
I mean, it really is. There's no elevation to the land.
And when it finally recedes, we're going to lose another 40, 50 feet of coastline all along that. Because the coastline will go with it when it recedes. We are going to continue with Mike Steele from GOHSEP, the Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness, right after this break on Exiles TV.
That's right, the Clarence Bug Show is back, along with the Exiles, Bill Profita and Kevin Gallagher. We've put the band back together, South Louisiana's talk team, and it's only on the Pelican. 10 a.m. till 12 noon, right here on the Pelican.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent.
Depend on us for service, for selection, for price.
Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with The Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
and Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Hey, welcome back. Exiles TV, and our guest right now is Mike Steele with the Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness. Mike, thanks for coming, and we appreciate it. Is it safe to say that Louisiana is as prepared for this very unpredictable storm as can be?
Yeah, I think all the behind-the-scenes maneuvering and everything has been done. I mean, we've had several days going back into last week that we've been kind of ramping up for this. I wish there was a way we could say there's not going to be, loss of property or people hurt or any of those type things. You just can't stop everything. But I feel like listening to the conversations with all the state agencies, we've already got FEMA in. They've been in for several days now. A team from Oklahoma just arrived to work at the Emergency Operations Center. We kind of have a standing agreement with them that if they get hit with like a big tornado outbreak or an earthquake or something that they may be dealing with, our team goes up there to help them, and then in return they come down and help us. All of those type, bringing the utility crews in from wherever they can be brought in, all those types of moves are made.
I saw a huge column of trucks that came in, and they had Florida plates, they had Alabama plates. I love that we have that reciprocity with other states. When they need us, we're there.
Yep.
When we need them, they're here.
That's the way it ought to work. Mike, I don't think we can not talk about potential impacts to I-10 from Houston all the way back here to Baton Rouge. So what are you seeing?
So there's a good chance we could see problems on the roadways, potentially the interstate. I think 511la.org is one of the greatest resources we have in the state when you're talking about emergency situations. Historically, people, dying in cars that have driven through flooded roadways are one of our biggest problems, and that doesn't have to be related to a hurricane. That can be a regular, thunderstorm or something causing those problems. So if you do have to get out, or if you have a work issue where you have to get out on the road close to this event, make sure you're checking those sites. DOTD has Twitter accounts for each major metropolitan area across the state. So there's one for the Lake Charles area, the Lafayette area, the Baton Rouge area. You can check all of those type resources before you hit the road. In some previous events, there was flooding around the Texas-Louisiana line where the entire interstate had to be shut down. So we usually try to send out these big notices, even like a emergency alert system type notice, to get that traffic rerouted before they get to Baton Rouge or before they get to Beaumont and start clogging everything up. Try and take advantage of other interstate systems, to get up to I-20 or one of those other ones.
I keep thinking about that area right as you're about to cross the Sabine, and I mean, it's low. I mean, the interstate is right down there at sea level, and what are you going to do if you get 6 feet of water? You're going to go under.
You were talking about partnerships too. A lot of people don't realize, when Harvey hit Texas, it started down around the Corpus area and kind of bounced around and eventually made its way up to Houston and the Beaumont area. And so we actually rescued about 3,000 or 4,000 people all along that I-10 corridor from the state line over towards Houston and took them up to our mega shelter up in Alexandria. So that area is very vulnerable too. And like you said, it's all about helping our neighbors should the bigger problems kind of develop over in those areas again.
This is going to be a strong storm and a fast mover as it moves inland, which makes me think that areas, Leesville and DeSoto Parish and Bossier and those parishes are also going to get a pretty good wallop before this thing moves out.
Absolutely. My son's over in Charleston now, and he's lived over there for a few years, and it looks like it's going to take a right hook and head over in that direction. So I've tried to keep him informed. It's not just us. It's not just the coast. It's going to be central Louisiana, North Louisiana, even some areas out of state.
One of the things I want to remind people, and you all have been doing a very good job of reminding people to get their act together, have their phones charged and their iPads and have one of those portable battery chargers and things like that. We have got more information literally 3 digits away than we ever have. And I actually tested some of these this morning. The 311 system runs up all the way through Louisiana. Star LSP will get you the nearest state police troop. So if you're in the car and you're like, oh, that looks bad up ahead, I wonder if I should get more information before I proceed. And the 511la.gov, which you can access on your personal device, there is also a cell number.
Yeah.
And it's star 511.
Right.
And you can use that and get information even if you forgot to do it before you leave your home or office and you're in the car and something is worrisome to you, please use these numbers before something bad happens.
Right.
This is also, it's a small thing, but if you have to be traveling at a time like this, make note of mile markers as you go. Because if you need to call Star LSP, that's one of the first questions they're going to ask you. What mile marker
Where are you?
in?
Yeah.
Or at least pay attention to what exit you
When I'm
passed.
driving, I don't make note of mile markers most of the time, but if it just that little bit of extra, if you got a co-pilot, ask them to keep track of the mile markers.
But, as we get into this, I think the waiting is very difficult. We have got about a 600-mile lag at, 16 miles an hour right now. So how do you keep everybody in the Emergency Operations Center on top of their game during this lag period?
Well, I think you almost get an adrenaline rush, when these things start happening, because our guys, we have a lot of ex-military guys, a lot of guys, and we train, year-round for these type of events. So it's just a matter of knowing that, you've got a job to do. Like our operations staff is top-notch, and when these requests come in for support from our local parishes, they find a way to get the answers to them or get the supplies to them, as quickly as possible. There's a lot of people that just have, we're on the 15th anniversary of Katrina and Rita. Yeah. And when I tell you that like our agency didn't exist back then, but then the amount of coordination in everything, from even teams coming in from out of state and just all the coordinated moves that are made now compared to what they were like back then. I mean, it's night and day difference. It's just unfortunate you can't stop the destruction, from happening when it's too severe. But we go back to all those behind the scenes moves. I feel like just about every trigger's been pulled at this point.
If you don't mind, let's talk about what resources are available in real time on your website now and how people access them.
Yeah, so we just revamped the getagameplan.org site, kind of gave it a more kind of modern look. There's even a section on there about COVID now because of that situation's still ongoing. And then we have the Get a Game Plan app, which ties back in to that website. But if you're looking for information, maybe you're new to the area and you don't know exactly what you should have in your supply kit or whatever, download that app. You can actually take your phone into the store with you and maybe look at those that 2-page checklist to see what you should have. The only thing that's not on there is, asking people to maybe throw in, hand sanitizer and mask and some of those unique items, all about 2020. But some of those things that maybe they haven't had in the past. But, again, so many resources right there at the touch of a finger, basically. So take advantage of it.
And if you take prescription medicine, if you take maintenance medicines like, blood pressure medicine or a cholesterol medicine or something like that, even if it's not time to refill them right now, the pharmacies will all refill them. I got a text message for a medicine that was not due to be refilled until Saturday. And I got it last Saturday. You want us to refill this now? We will.
Yeah.
But all of these things. Oh, and don't forget about your pets.
Yes.
You're going to need to find out which shelters accept pets if you have to move.
That's right. And every parish is required to have a pet plan as part of their activities now, so tap into your local resources, find out what they have to offer. But we saw that with a lot of big storms in the past. People wouldn't evacuate or wouldn't even be rescued if they couldn't take their pets along with them. So think about those types of things ahead of time. Another thing is power outages with people that rely on medical devices and those type things. If you're going to be without power for an extended amount of time, are you okay with what you need from a device standpoint and everything?
Well, and again, there is assistance. If you say, look, my husband has been sick, he just went on a ventilator or an assisted device 3 weeks ago, and we don't have a standby generator, we will get you one. We will get you that help. Through the power company, through GOHSEP, through United Way, we will get you that kind of help.
Yep.
Anything else before we let you go back to real work?
That's the main thing. Just, please stay off the roadways. We could have all types of water-related problems, from the surge to the rain to other things happening. So stay off the roadways and don't put yourself in harm if you don't have to.
Well, Mike, we are all getting ready for this, and again, I think you and the folks at GOHSEP are keeping us informed as best you can in an ever-changing situation. We may need to talk again on Thursday if all the antennas are still in the air.
Right.
And I guess we're going to have to see about that.
Right. Well, thank you guys.
We might
this
be talking
helps.
into a dead phone, but we'll see.
This helps getting the word out, so we appreciate it too.
Thanks for your time. We appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break and take care of some business. Once again, Mike Steele with the Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness. In hour two, we're going to talk about state police. Going to talk with state police. Road closures, what they would like you to do, and how they'd like you to behave as we go through what's going to be Hurricane Laura when it makes landfall. Exiles TV will be right back.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Clarence Bug Show. Yeah, I'm back on the air. That's right, 10 a.m. until 12 noon, Monday and Wednesday, and we replay it Monday and Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. to midnight. Check us out online. You can watch it live at PelicanSportsTV.com, or better yet, why don't you just download the Pelican Broadcasting app? That way you can take it with you anywhere you go. That's right, the Clarence Bug Show. Tell you what, oh, wait, gotta run, gotta go, bye.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch lunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Hello again. Welcome back. It's Exiles TV. Bill Profita over there. Kevin Gallagher here, and we're so glad to have you with us. This program does go out in a broad transmission onto 5 cable systems across southern Louisiana, which means it's seen in like 22 parishes.
Yeah.
All the way from Jennings east to the Mississippi state line, and all along the I-10 corridor in that area, and the I-12 corridor as well. So that's why we're trying to cover as much of that area with useful information on LoRa as we can today.
Well, and we're trying to give you some resources for information as well. We're trying to look at all the parishes that could have adverse impacts from either wind or rain or flooding, and we're giving you their public phone numbers for their emergency operations center, okay? And we're doing them a few at a time because I don't want to hit you with 30 numbers.
But grab a pen if you need one.
Yeah, Acadia Parish. It is 337-783-4357. Iberia Parish, which is you're likely to have some questions and some situations in Iberia Parish. 337-369-4427. And then in Lafayette Parish, looking at some of these storm surge projections that we were just looking at, you can't see them. They're on a monitor to my right with the Atchafalaya and everything right there in Vermilion Bay. In Lafayette Parish, it is 337-291-5075. And we'll have more of these before we leave the air today. Again, United Way all over Louisiana operates a wonderful service. It is the 311 number. You can dial it from a landline, you can dial it from your cell phone, and you can get information on shelters, anything related to medications, hospitals, food supplies, all of that stuff during a time of potential crisis like this. All kinds of information just by dialing 311 anywhere in Louisiana.
Got some information on Red Cross. If you want to call your area Red Cross to find out about shelters, supplies, anything that they could do to help you as a storm victim. In the river parishes that lie between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, that's a 985 area code number, and you can call them at 785-0647. That's 785-0647 in the 985 code. On the North Shore Lake Pontchartrain, this is a Covington number, 985 area code 892-4317. That's 985-892-4317. Now, that number will be good for whether you're in Eastern Tangipahoa Parish or Western St. Tammany Parish. They should be able to help you out with any questions you have. In the New Orleans area, the area code is 504, of course, and that is 620-3105. 620-3105. For our friends watching us on Cox Cable in Lafayette, 337, this is for the Red Cross, 337-234-7371. That's 234-7371. And by the way, if you're interested farther west in Lake Charles, that same number also applies. That is 337-234-7371.
Now I've got all the saints rounded up here for you. Here's the EOCs in all the saint parishes. Again, the river parishes, St. Charles Parish, 985-783-5050. 985-783-5050. In St. James Parish, 225-562-2346. In St. John the Baptist Parish, 985-652-2222. In St. Landry Parish, 337-351-2467. St. Martin Parish is 337-394-2812. and St. Mary Parish, 337-828-4100. We will try to go through all of these again as we can. After the top of the hour here, we're going to give you the latest storm track on the hurricane. They should have the 11 o'clock numbers in their pocket by the time we come back to you, because it's 11 o'clock Eastern time that they get them, and they put them out around 11:30 Eastern time, which means we should have them available to us when we come back from our break at the top of the hour. We're also going to have Louisiana State Police as we get a little later into the hour at 11 o'clock, talking about all their resources and what they want to tell you as you may be tempted to travel or if you need to evacuate. Here's something interesting. I am noticing that a lot of these emergency operation centers also have a Facebook and a Twitter presence, Kevin, which sometimes is a lot easier than dialing a phone.
For many people, it's preferred to dialing a phone.
Yeah.
If they can get the information they need. And, of course, you got to keep in mind that some of these emergency centers and the Red Cross and places like this also might be terribly busy. So if you don't get an answer, call back, wait a few minutes, wait 15, 20 minutes, and try again. And keep trying until someone answers the phone.
Well, again, 311, you will probably get a live human on the phone more quickly.
That is the United way.
Yeah, and they just operate it as a parish-wide information center. So what will happen is if you're in Lafayette and you dial that 311, you're going to get somebody in Lafayette. It does you no good to try to get information about what's happening now in Lafayette if you're talking to somebody in Baton Rouge. So if you dial it from Lafayette, you're going to get a Lafayette knowledgeable person on the other end. I'll give you a good example. We had, from that rainstorm a week and a half ago, we had about 40 feet of the top of a pecan tree that came down in the backyard. Didn't touch a thing but grass, thank God. But we cut it all up and we hauled it to the curb. It was so big that even though we cut it in less than 6-foot sections, we had to have 2 piles. Well, last Thursday, which is debris day in my neighborhood, they took 1 pile, they left the other. So I called 311 this morning and said, look, this is going to be dangerous if we get high winds. And they said, could 2 guys do this by hand, or do we need the claw truck? I said, we brought it out there by hand. They said, would it fit in the back of a standard-sized pickup truck? I said, yes, it would. And they said, here's your receipt. We're going to send you an email. They're going to come get it today.
Nice.
So, again, for things like that, if you're worried about debris in your neighborhood that could become projectiles, call 311.
Well, I've noticed that in East Baton Rouge Parish, Mayor President Sharon Weston Broom suspended DPW's behaviors, which includes trash pickup, etc., because Marco was incoming. But I applaud them for seeing that Marco was not going to be a thing, and let's get busy and let's get some of this stuff done before Laura comes in. We had all, on my street, my neighborhood, we had all put our trash out because Monday is trash pickup day and recyclable day.
Yep.
And dinner time last night, everybody's trash still sitting at the curb. But I did notice, and I made note of the time because I heard the garbage truck, 4:40 this morning, which means they hit it early.
Oh, yeah.
They hit it early, God bless them.
Well, she announced that they were going to be on the street at 4 a.m.
She got the trucks out early, and they were out picking up trash and got the trash off the curb by about, in my neighborhood, by 5:30 in the morning. And recyclables to come later today. So
yeah, we are
because you don't want those bins sitting out on the curb.
Well, they will become airborne.
They will be gone if there's any accumulation of water. They will float down the street.
And by the way, we will have a local look tomorrow on our Morning Exiles podcast, strictly for the Baton Rouge area. Back in a moment with Exiles TV.
Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent.
Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances. Your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Exiles from what you ask? Exiled from the radio. But now, we're on your television.
I'm Bill Profita. He's Kevin Gallagher, and they kicked us to the curb.
But we're back.
We are back with Exiles Television on the Pelican Broadcasting Network. We're going to bring you the newsmakers. We're also going to take your calls and give you great information. It's going to be the best damn radio show on television.
Look for it on your cable system or download the app, PelicanSportsTV.com.
Hello, guys. It's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Welcome back, Exiles TV. Round 2 coming your way. Thank you all for joining us this morning.
We appreciate it.
Lots to talk about. It all is weather related. And again, even though we are here in Baton Rouge, you can see us from west of Lafayette all the way through the Mississippi border, both north of the Baton Rouge area and east of the Baton Rouge area. So check your listings, your cable listings. Look for KPBN. We are on Cox. We are on ATT-Uverse. And we are also on Allen Cable.
And by the way, the show's on from 10 until noon, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I know that your listing might show you that Buck Fever is on, but just if you find whichever station is KPBN, click it.
See, that's my old performing name, Buck Fever.
Buck Fever.
When I used to dance.
Okay, Hurricane Laura. Let's see. As anybody's best guess, Laura will probably make landfall somewhere along the Texas-Louisiana coastline, or state line, rather. And it will probably be in the wee small hours of Thursday morning.
Now, there is a hurricane warning up as far north as Alexandria.
Yep.
It just barely gets into Lafayette on the east, but Lake Charles, in the Baton Rouge area, we can expect 35-mile-an-hour winds, and it gets more intense as you move to the west and to the north. This thing is going to make a big old hook.
Yes, a huge hook and head back towards the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
And it will still be, by all guesses, a tropical depression by the time it gets back out into the Atlantic. Now, the question is interesting. Could it re-strengthen into a tropical storm or a hurricane again? And is it still Laura?
It's happened before, and I think it is still Laura. If it stays at like tropical depression status and then becomes a tropical storm, I think it stays Laura. I think if it becomes just a low pressure area, then it gets renamed.
I am trying to remember which one it was. It was actually several years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. But we had it made landfall in Louisiana as a tropical storm, made that big hook, went up to the northeast, went back out into the Atlantic, and it was a Category 1 hurricane by the time it impacted the coast of Ireland.
Mm-hmm. Was that Juan?
I'm trying to. I think it might have been Juan. I mean,
Yeah.
it was the longest traveled storm I've recalled seeing in a long time because it started way down, like off the coast of Africa, made that trip across the Atlantic, came into the Gulf, made the trek across the continent, then back out into the Atlantic, across the Atlantic again. It's like you don't give up easy.
Yeah. Well, I am glad. I hate to say it this way because it's very self-serving, but I'm glad we are not going to get a Hurricane Andrew impact from this one. Right there, just south of New Iberia and Vermilion Bay, that was devastating for a big part of this state. Mm-hmm. We're still going to have a lot of wind, a lot of rain. Laura is moving west-northwest at 16 miles an hour, which means that it's still tracking almost directly for the Mississippi-Louisiana border at this point. But you know what? It is too early to tell. And a lot of strange things have happened in the Gulf in the last 2 weeks, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Marco was zigzagging all around before the wind shear took his top off.
Mm-hmm.
So
right now, the cone of probability for landfall goes all the way from Galveston, Texas, east to Terrebonne Parish.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a huge. Okay, not Terrebonne Parish, Vermilion Parish.
Yeah.
But that is still a huge cone of probability, and we just don't know where within that cone they call it a cone of probability or uncertainty now.
They call it a cone of uncertainty.
That's because, they're admitting that, hey, this is scientific guesswork.
But isn't probability also
guesswork.
Uncertainty? It's just a little less uncertain.
Probability sounds more confident than uncertainty.
Yeah.
So, it will probably land here or there, but
it is a big storm.
when you say uncertainty, it's like, they're using the old SWAG method, the scientific wild ass guess.
Yeah.
But that's the best they can do.
Yeah, it's a big storm. It has got a big field. Now, if you look at an actual satellite image that's in motion, the satellite image combined with the radar, it is starting to get a little lopsided as well. It is beginning to look like a giant comma with the center being here and most of the circulation dropping down
to
and
the
then
south
coming
and east.
back. And if it stays a little lopsided like that, that is probably going to be better news than if it really compacts tightly around the core.
Well, and what are we used to
990
having?
millibars right now is not really all that bad. You see them when they get to 11, at 10, 15, 10, 20, that's bad.
What we're used to seeing, though, with these things is the majority of the storm activity is in that northwestern quadrant compared to the eye wall.
Yeah.
And this right now is mostly to the north and the southeast.
Yeah, at the moment,
Freaky.
It's a bad day on the beaches of Cancun at the moment. Heavy purple rain.
You
Bad.
you don't mean like
Well, I mean
Prince.
purple on the radar, which means heavy rain. We've got more to come, including we'll be joined by Louisiana State Police in about 10 minutes or so. Stick with us. Exiles TV, back in a moment.
Hello, guys. It's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. taste the feeling.
That's right, the Clarence Bug Show is back, along with the Exiles, Bill Profita and Kevin Gallagher. We've put the band back together, South Louisiana's talk team, and it's only on the Pelican. 10 a.m. till 12 noon, right here on the Pelican.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
And we're back. This is Exiles TV. Quick non sequitur to Hurricane Laura, Bill. We like to stay in touch with the social trends, as they're called sometimes. KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, has suspended temporarily, at least for now, their slogan of finger licking good. Why?
Do I even want to know this?
Because
or is it just going to make
coronavirus
me angry?
around, you shouldn't be licking your fingers, period.
Do people really think that people say, I want to go buy a bucket of extra crispy so
And
that I
lick
can
my
lick
fingers?
my fingers?
No, I think that's what napkins are made for. I mean, the whole thing, nobody with KFC, in my opinion, ever said you should lick your fingers.
No.
They just said, our chicken is so good you will want to.
Yeah, it's an expression. Like slap your mama. But nobody uses a big spice like that and goes and cracks their mom across the face.
You remember the lawsuit, though?
With my mom, you do it once.
What was didn't slap
the end of you?
Didn't Slap Your Mama sponsor Red Zone coverage when for pro football? I'm trying to remember which was it, Fox or somebody.
Oh yeah.
And when the line of scrimmage went into the red zone coverage was provided by Slap Your Mama, and people were like, I don't think a product called Slap Your Mama should be advertising with the NFL, given the NFL's history of domestic violence and for the happier, simpler times.
I am sorry. I just don't get all of these participation trophy whiny asses that are looking for reasons in things that are obviously humorous advertising slogans so that they can go on a tirade about domestic abuse.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember, there was one of them on our radio show who had me to the point where I asked him if his father had beaten him, and he said, well, no, and I said, well, he should have.
I remember that guy.
Yeah. He didn't call again.
No. My friend Scott McKay of the Hayride.com and author calls them the perpetually aggrieved. The perpetually aggrieved. They're always going to be somebody upset about something out there and looking to get a little screen time on the news or on social media, because they're always pissed off about something.
Somebody told me I was being disrespectful to somebody, and I shouldn't have been, because they perceived that they had some difficulties and things of that nature. And I said, so you picked it up? And they said, what do you mean? that I was being disrespectful. And they said, yeah. I said, I was intending to. What you didn't pick up, I was also intending to be insulting. Because I don't care about their disability. They have earned my disrespect and my want to insult them by their behavior. So go on now. Go find somebody else to annoy.
Yep.
See, the thing is, you're not going to reach me with that. You're simply going to annoy me. And you know what happens when you annoy me? It turns you into my target. And I get up for it. I really do.
He does.
I enjoy it.
Oh, he does.
And I'm good at it.
Yeah. Yeah. He's. I have fond memories of 5 years of him ripping people apart on the radio show. And before before we were radio partners, I was a fan of your solo radio show, and I would tune in just to hear who you were ripping apart.
See, I prefer to think of it as instruction.
There you go. Helping them follow the guideposts of life.
Yeah, I knew that I was going to have to take a breather one time when I asked a guy where he had his head if he could see anything beside brown and did it smell badly. But we digress.
Man.
Look, the storm surge figures are out right now.
Yes,
we are, as you noted. Right in the center of the state of Louisiana, a little tiny bit west of center, they're now saying possible. This is possibilities. 11 to 17 feet. They are still calling for 2 to 4 feet in Plaquemines Parish and around Lake Pontchartrain and in Jefferson Parish.
Which means that if you live, I'm thinking Ascension Parish, if you live near the Amite River.
Yes.
You better expect 2 to 4 feet at least of storm surge.
Ascension, Assumption, Iberville, and I'm going to give you their EEOC numbers, or not EEOC, their EOC numbers, although I'm sure they do have EEOC numbers.
I'm sure they do.
In a little bit. But I'm kind of surprised at their predicting storm surge. I mean, that's got to be 200 miles from the center of where landfall is anticipated.
You've seen the storm. It's a big storm now, and I think it's going to get bigger.
Yeah, and again, we're going to have to watch and see how it forms up. And that's one of the reasons we are doing this morning. We're trying to get you the latest information and prepare you for what may come to your area and try to give you information for resources as well. Now, the only evacuation that I have seen so far that is completed is Grand Isle, and that was from Marco.
Yep. Always a good idea, though. I mean, have you ever gone down there and spent much time?
No.
You get a sense of vulnerable.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing protecting you.
You get down there and you stand on that beach, and there's no barrier island out there. And, I mean, if something's coming in, it's coming in hot, and it's going to mess things up.
Yeah, I mean...
I would not want to stay down there.
It's kind of the Haiti of Louisiana. Every storm's going to make a stop there just to do something bad to Grand Isle.
Isn't that funny, though, that you mentioned that? Because it does seem that almost every storm we have seems to lock a bead on Grand Isle.
Oh, yeah.
And come right at it. Remember Andy Valance used to be the
late Andy Valance.
The mayor of Grand Isle. We'd always look, if you saw Andy Valance or heard him on the radio, you knew it was going to be serious business.
Yeah, it was better than seeing Jim Cantori.
But this thing, as I mentioned earlier, is expected to come ashore possibly as a Category 3 sometime late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. Right now, maximum sustained winds are at a solid 75 miles an hour. The storm has slowed a little bit in forward motion. It's now moving west-northwest at 14 miles per hour.
All right, we're going to take our break. When we come back, Louisiana State Police. Lots of information that you're going to need. Trooper First Class Taylor Scrantz joins us when we come back.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Clarence Bug Show. Yeah, I'm back on the air. That's right, 10 a.m. until 12 noon, Monday and Wednesday, and we replay it Monday and Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. to midnight. Check us out online. You can watch it live at PelicanSportsTV.com, or better yet, why don't you just download the Pelican Broadcasting app? That way you can take it with you anywhere you go. That's right, the Clarence Bug Show. Tell you what, oh, wait, gotta run, gotta go, bye.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Welcome back to Exiles TV. So glad to have you with us. We're spending a lot of time on Laura, who is now a hurricane once again, about 625 miles southwest of Lake Charles, southeast of Lake Charles, moving northwest at 16 miles an hour. It's going to be a big rainmaker. It's going to be a big wind event with current predictions. That may change. And there are going to be evacuations. We have asked state police to join us to give us kind of the overall picture. Trooper First Class Taylor Scrantz, good morning. Welcome. Glad to have you with us.
Good morning, Mr. Bill. Good morning, Mr. Kevin. Thank y'all for having us here today.
What's the overview of what's going on in South Louisiana now as far as state police, and what's on your priority list?
So right now, our EOC is under full activation. Our troops are under double shifts, which essentially means we have twice the manpower on the roads to assist the motoring public at this time. And we're in constant contact with the governor's office. I know Mike Steele was on here earlier. We're constantly talking to Mike and our parish officials to assess the situation and put our resources where they're needed.
Have you heard anything yet about doing large-scale evacuations from the population centers like Lake Charles, like Houma, like Lafayette, and if you're going to do anything like Contraflow or anything like that, or is that still an open question?
It's still an open question. Just this morning we had a rep from Mississippi Department of Transportation, so we're in constant contact with Mississippi and Texas. And as far as mandatory evacuation, we haven't heard of any word of that yet, But we would encourage you, if you think you may be under evacuation, to make the proper preparations.
Now, if the trigger is pulled on an evacuation and contraflow in any part of the state, how long is the window for that? I mean, when you make that decision, how long does it take to get that in place and make it happen?
Well, that's the beauty about having our EOC activated. We're in constant contact with our troops, and we can make that phone call immediately. You know, we have to get our personnel dispatched to those certain areas where contraflow is going to happen, and that's a very big decision. We have to make contact with Texas as well as, you know, Lake Charles and those certain cities and suburbs to get that going underway.
And I guess presumably it would be west into Texas, north on I-49 into higher parts.
Right, further away from the storm, the better.
But the storm's expected to, you know, move on up into the north part of the state as well. So.
Right, yeah, that's why we're closely monitoring the storm. We don't know if there's going to be a need for contraflow at this point in time, but if there is, we're going to make the proper calls and the proper preparations and to get people safely away from the storm, you know, away from high water, essentially.
The governor of Texas on Sunday said he was very, very worried about I-10 getting underwater again, and he was talking about Winnie, Texas, which is the other side of Beaumont. But I know he sent DPS from Texas and some National Guard people there to try to, I don't know what they're going to do other than assess the situation. Are you worried, is state police worried about I-10 between Lake Charles and the Texas border at this point?
See, we're not going to speculate on what may or may not happen, but we did learn a lot from 2016 when it comes to high water. All we can tell you as the motoring public is avoid high water at all costs. If it's not essential for you to be on the roadway right now, please do not get on the roadway. We have these extra resources out there to be posted on high water signs, and if you're driving in high water, you don't know where the roadway ends. And if you happen to go into a canal, it's going to be very hard for first responders to get to you, if we can get to you at all.
Very, very difficult. When the governor decides, I assume it comes from the governor, and he passes it down to the colonel, and they pass it to the troopers that are, you know, at the various troops. You say you've got double manpower on the streets right now. Is that enough to handle it, or you think you're going to need some local assistance or maybe National Guard assistance if they decide to move a lot of people in a hurry?
That would come down to the governor's office as far as activating the National Guard, but we always have a great working relationship with local municipalities and our local sheriff's offices as well. You know, that's the importance, the partnership the public plays in this event as well. If everybody's on the roadway and everybody's getting in crashes, no, we do not have enough resources. But if you heed our advice and stay off the roadway and only be on the roadway as absolutely emergency, then yes, then we'll be able to handle those situations.
How about tolerance for other moving violations on the roadways during this time where people might be a little anxious to get the hell out of town?
Yeah, I mean, we're still going to enforce laws as needed. You know, obviously that's up to the trooper's discretion whether he's going to issue a citation or not. But our main goal during a weather event of this size is to keep this public safe. You know, we're not out there looking to write speeding tickets and things of that nature. But we also cannot allow people to be on the roadway going in excess of 100 miles per hour.
I've noticed over previous years that you all seem to have an almost telepathic kind of relationship with like motorist assistance patrol and things like that, that it looks to me like the trooper has just gotten there and 40 seconds later here comes MAP to help you direct traffic, clear the vehicle from the roadway. Did they have extra people out as well on the main highways?
I'm not sure if MAP does or not, but you know, we work off the same radio communication system, so that's why our partnership is so great. You know, when the trooper can't get to a scene in time or in an expedited manner when it's an emergency, we have MAP and vice versa.
Well,
MAP plays a very essential role in interstate safety.
This is normally the time of year where, in years past, you guys are in 100 days of summer heat, and you know you're doing a crackdown campaign. Is that all suspended? You know, when we have these kinds of emergencies going on?
Right. Our primary focus right now as a state police organization is to ensure the public safety. We're not doing any high enforcement or anything like that right now. With that being said, troopers are still out there, you know, enforcing the laws on the roadway as needed. Just this morning, Troop A alone was investigating 10 crashes this morning. That's a lot of
10?
10.
Yow.
So that's a lot. That's not uncommon for the Troop A area. We are a very busy area, but with that being said, that's 10 troopers right there that could be resourced to other places that we need them.
Yeah.
Well, and an average accident like that where the vehicles aren't movable right away, I would guess that ties a trooper up for an hour or more.
At least an hour.
At least an hour.
Yes, sir.
That's not good.
No, sir. That's an hour we could be posting on high water on the roadway. And that's the thing. Right now, we're not seeing any high water on the roadway. But when the storm comes, it's going to be too late by that point in time.
Someone texted me a message. We know that state police has got air assets.
Right.
You've got helicopters and I think it's one fixed-wing airplane or maybe two.
I know we have several helicopters in our fleet. As far as fixed-wings airplanes, I'm not sure. But we also have drone pilots as well that have become essential with us.
Well, and what this person wanted to know is, do you all have boats or do you leave that to wildlife and fisheries and people like that if you need to put troopers into a boat to go to get to somebody? Is it yours? Do you have water assets as well?
We use wildlife and fisheries as well as the local sheriff's offices. They have a marine division on each one of those organizations, and we'll jump in the boat as needed, but we kind of leave the waterways to wildlife and fisheries.
Okay. Now, if someone is traveling along, say anytime after Thursday morning, and they encounter a roadway, and I'm going to presume it's probably going to be one of our 2-lane roadways, but they're moving along on like 1065 and boom, high water. Can they hit you guys up at Star LSP and find out what the conditions are? Do they, can they go forward or?
Well, they can certainly call us and we can get a trip out to the area, but an essential asset that we're using right now is www.511la.org.
Okay.
And if that roadway is closed, you can go on there and you can get immediate roadway closures. You can also visit our LSP Facebook and Twitter pages.
Okay.
We'll have road closures there as needed. And if you don't have internet access and you can't get in touch with anybody, feel free to call Star LSP, just like you said. Star 577, they'll get you to your nearest troop area.
And I think Star 511 still works, or maybe just 511 as a cell phone call if you don't want to have somebody in your car that can punch it up on the website. You can still hit the 511 and get the same information. You might just have to wait a little longer because it scrolls through.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
All good resources, all good to know. At a time like this, when we don't know what's going to happen, and you've got men and women on double shifts, does fatigue ever start to show its ugly head? You can only stay amped up for action for so long. How do you, as a trooper, work with that when we're waiting for something? It's going to be maybe 18, maybe 26 hours away. How do you deal with that?
So I think that goes back to the very first day you become a state trooper, the training academy. We train for these situations, and I think during these disasters, and hopefully lower is not a disaster, to a lower scale like 2016, that's what we train for. And I think during these natural disasters is when our troopers work as a team the best, and you see the brightest and best of us shine. And, that's part of the sacrifice we make to our families. We're not going to be with our families. We're going to be away from them. And that's why we sign up for the job. So that's part of one of the many sacrifices we do. But we have full confidence that our troopers are not going to fall asleep at the wheel or anything like that. We train for these situations, and they're more than prepared to handle it.
What's a normal shift? A normal shift for a trooper is how many hours?
12 hours.
12. So when you've got guys, do you have them actually doing 24 hours at a time, or?
So you'll have one shift do 12 hours, and they're relieved by night shift, and they'll do 12 hours, and obviously the day shift will get an 8-hour break of sleep, and then they report again the next morning.
Okay, so do they get to go home, or at times like these, they just go to the troop and try and find some place to lay down and?
Well, it all depends. We have certain northern troopers, search and rescue guys staying right now at our training academy, and they're on 24-hour call. But the local guys at Troop A, they'll go home and rest as needed.
Is there anything we haven't hit upon? Because we're asking kind of general questions about roads and conditions and how to find out. But is there anything that state police needs to get out to people right now as we're getting ready for this?
Yes. So we got a big break with Marco not hitting us as hard as we initially had thought. So please use this extra couple of days to prepare. And so when Laura does hit, please stay in your homes unless it is an absolute emergency to be on the roadway. Our resources are being directed as needed, and if you're stuck in a rural area, let's say Vermilion Parish, Vermilion Parish is anticipated to get pretty hard. It's going to take a trooper a while to get to you down there if you're in Gaydon or something of that nature. So please stay home unless it's essential to travel on the roadway. And also, the governor's having a press conference this evening at 6 p.m. Please tune into your local media stations and hear what he has to say. And Colonel Rees will be up there as well.
And I grew up in Illinois, and as we got into late fall and early winter, our state police would always tell us, have a shovel in your trunk, have a blanket, in case you get stuck in the snow somewhere. Is there anything that you want people to carry in their vehicles right now that they might not normally in case they get stuck?
That's an excellent point. We encourage you to have at least a case of water in your vehicle to stay hydrated, small amount of food, a blanket in the event you get cold, hot, whatever it may be. And another good point too is everyone has iPhones these days, and you can share your location with your family. So we think that would be a very essential tool to use in the event that you need to locate somebody and you can't get through on a cell service. If you share your location, they'll have the exact spot you were in last.
Trooper First Class Taylor Scrantz, Public Information Officer, one of them from State Police. Always, we've had you on the radio, we never had you in person. I see you got your TV hair on. No Smokey the Bear hat knocking that down today.
Well, I think some of the ladies watching will be glad we had you on today.
I'm sure they will. Yeah, JB still do this kind of thing, or is he too high in the organization for that?
He's one of the big wigs now, so we got to have him at our training academy. He's actually the commandant over the training academy.
We used to get calls from women constantly when we had him on.
Is that JB Slayton? Is he single? It's like, what do you think?
Yeah, you may be the new JB as far as those calls go. We thank you for being with us, and we appreciate everything you and all your brothers and sisters do. We really, really do.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all so much for including State Police today.
We are going to take a break. We'll be back in a moment on Exiles TV. Stick around.
Bellello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Bellello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
That's right, the Clarence Bug Show is back, along with the Exiles, Bill Profita and Kevin Gallagher. We've put the band back together, South Louisiana's talk team, and it's only on the Pelican. 10 a.m. till 12 noon, right here on the Pelican.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hello again, and welcome back to Exiles TV here on KPBN Pelican Broadcasting. By the way, there is a rerun of this program tonight at 10 p.m. So if you're not in the mood to watch the news or the Republican National Convention, you might want to check it out.
Or random shootings or bad car accidents.
Also, they also do replays of this program on the weekends in the morning time as well. So, and if you're more of the let me watch it on demand, well, just hours after this live airtime, they get the program up on the YouTube page. So on youtube.com, search for Pelican Broadcasting, and you'll see not only replay opportunities for this program, but the Clarence Bug Show, Rocket Riot Radio, Tiger Roar, all of the programs produced here by Pelican Broadcasting you can view on demand.
Well, and again, you can stream live at pelicansportstv.com, and you can also get the app. It is so easy in the App Store. It's like a 25-second download, and that is Pelican Broadcasting is the name of the app.
Yep,
in the App Store.
The thing about the app that's cool is that you're watching these programs in real time on the app, but you can watch them from anywhere. You can watch them on your smartphone, or I've got a Chromebook. I've got the app on my Chromebook and on my smartphone, so I can watch from anywhere, anytime. The latest on Hurricane Laura, it is a Category 1 hurricane expected to possibly reach Category 3 strength before it makes landfall sometime probably early Thursday morning. And that best guess for landfall is a cone of probability that takes it from Vermilion Parish all the way to Galveston, Texas, with the center of that somewhere at the Louisiana-Texas coast, or Texas state line, I beg your pardon, along the coast. But winds could be at about 110 miles per hour as it makes landfall.
We're trying to provide you with some information about EOCs in your area, in your parish. Most of the parishes that border I-10 and below, both north and south, are going to have some impact. So we're trying to get these numbers out to you. If you have a pen or pencil handy,
now's the time to grab it.
It's too much to put on the screen in a big hurry. So let us give you some of these numbers, all right? What you got?
Well, let's start with right here close to the capital area, where we are expecting some storm surge and some wind damage. So if you need to get in touch with your parish emergency operations center in Ascension Parish, 225 area code 621-8306. Again, that's 225-621-8306. Nearby Assumption Parish, that's 985 area code, and you can reach them at 369-7386. One more time, 985-369-7386 for Assumption Parish. Quick hop over to Terrebonne Parish again in the 985-873-4308. That's 985-873-4308 for the Terrebonne Parish EOC.
All right, let me see what I've got here. As we get a little further into this, we see that the impacts are projected to be a little larger than they may end up being, so it doesn't hurt you to be prepared. St. Bernard Parish, again, expecting storm surge in St. Bernard, 504-278-4268. Same thing for Jefferson Parish, storm surge, 504-349-5360. Orleans Parish, 504-658-8700. And Plaquemines Parish, 504-297-2477. We'll get into the Baton Rouge metro area in just a minute or two. I'm looking at the storm surge projections. Again, now they're saying 9, so they've raised that to 13 feet from the Texas-Louisiana border, basically all the way back to Vermilion Bay. Mm-hmm. And then 7 to 11 feet in the immediate area south of Lafayette, 4 to 6 along what would be, I guess that's St. Mary Parish and then Jefferson Parish, and 9 feet on the Lake Maurepas area.
Isn't that interesting?
That's got to be a typo. That can't be right.
No, that may be right. I mean, think about it. Now, when you were mentioning south of Lafayette, that takes in, you've got Morgan City, you've got Berwick,
St.
you've
Mary,
got a port
Berwick,
over there. And that is 7 to 11 feet of storm surge anticipated there. And you got a lot of people down, like in Morgan City, that live very, very close to the water. Of course, Morgan City also has a seawall they can close.
I'm wondering if they have done that already, because I don't believe theirs takes like 10 or 12 hours to close.
It takes a long time to close their
Does
seawall. Yeah, it does. It's a long, slow process. I was watching Weather Channel yesterday afternoon, and as of yesterday afternoon, they had not pulled the trigger on closing that seawall. But believe me, I think if they're looking at 7 to 11 foot projected storm surge, they're going to do it.
What about the Gulf Coast outlet barriers that have to be closed? And I guess that is shared between St. Tammany and St. Bernard, right?
Yes.
Have they closed those yet?
I have no personal knowledge of that.
Well, we've got all these numbers. Maybe we can ask some questions.
Yeah,
here
maybe we'll
in a
make some
little
calls.
bit.
But
We'll make some phone calls.
As far as parish EOCs, if you need to get in touch, in Lafourche Parish, that's a 985 area code. That number is 537-7603. That's 537-7603. If you live in these parishes, you might want to try, getting the number just to get the latest information on evacuations and things like that, if there's any advice that citizens need. In St. Tammany Parish, along Lake Pontchartrain, where up to 7 feet of storm surge is anticipated.
Yeah, boy, I hope that's wrong on that number that I just saw on the graphic.
You think about it. You got communities like Lacombe and others that are right there on the north shore of
Madisonville.
that are
Mandeville.
Madisonville at the mouth of the Chafunta River where it meets, 985 is the area code, 898-2359. That's 898-2359. Jeff Davis Parish, 337-824-3850. That's 337-824-3850.
Yeah, and East Baton Rouge Parish, by the way, our local number gets you into the EOC, 225-389-2100. In Livingston Parish, it is 225-686-3068. And Kevin just gave you Ascension and Iberville. One we left out that is likely going to be impacted by wind is DeSoto Parish. And that's 318-872-1877.
As that rascal moves north and starts, it's going to head up toward Shreveport Way before making that big turn to the east. And this storm is expected to curve right up and go through Kentucky and Tennessee and be back out to sea on the East Coast sometime on the 30th.
Now, again, I think I've seen too many cones of probability or uncertainty and too many forecasts and too many hurricanes that maybe I'm forgetting something. So let me know if I'm wrong, but this is the first time this far out I have seen hurricane force, not tropical storm force, hurricane force winds projected for Alexandria. Have you ever seen that before?
I don't recall that I've ever seen that happen, but this storm, it's supposed to be north of Lake Charles, still at Category 1 strength as it heads north, and it's supposed to pick up speed and start moving at maybe as much as 20-25 miles an hour as it heads north. Now, by 7 p.m. on the 27th, which is Thursday.
Yes.
By Thursday night, it's expected to get back down to tropical storm force. So it really all depends. But yeah, Alexandria is in that cone, and Alexandria could see hurricane force winds depending on how fast the storm is headed in that direction.
I'm trying to think back to Rita, and of course, Rita followed so closely on the heels of Katrina that we were kind of still reeling from Katrina in this area.
We weren't even actually in full-blown recovery mode when Rita hit.
Yeah. And so I'm trying to remember, because this storm looks eerily similar to Rita. Whether they got hurricane winds that far north, it's got to be 150 miles, huh?
Yes.
That's a long way for hurricane force winds to be headed.
But it all just has to do with the cone of probability, where the storm actually comes ashore, the size of the storm itself. Within that cone of probability, see if it's off to the eastern portion of that cone. Alexandria is definitely in that path.
Well, and again, how strong does this storm come ashore, and how quickly, it's all marsh basically in Cameron and most of Vermilion.
Mm-hmm. You get north of Lake Charles, you start to get some hill country there.
Yeah.
And that could tear it apart pretty good.
Yeah, but the marshes and all that in Cameron and Vermilion, and that's going to be like, nothing in terms of slowing it down.
But you think about it, Fort Polk is in the path of this storm.
Yeah.
And Leesville. And there's just a lot to be considered. We're going to take another break, and when we come back, we'll wrap things up for this day's edition of Exiles TV. Thanks for being with us.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Clarence Bug Show. Yeah, I'm back on the air. That's right, 10 a.m. until 12 noon, Monday and Wednesday, and we replay it Monday and Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. to midnight. Check us out online. You can watch it live at PelicanSportsTV.com, or better yet, why don't you just download the Pelican Broadcasting app? That way you can take it with you anywhere you go. That's right, the Clarence Bug Show. Tell you what, oh, wait, gotta run, gotta go, bye.
Back, Exiles TV, as we all get ready to greet Laura in whatever form she shows up. Right now, the predictions, and again, these are still long-range predictions. They're saying she could make landfall near the Texas-Louisiana border as a Category 3. Mm-hmm. That would be a devastating storm for about 100 miles in all directions. Storm surges are predicted to be in double digits in some areas. Max winds right now are extending out about 150 to 160 miles, mm-hmm. and it's still not completely circular. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot that we need to watch over the next 12 hours or so.
By the way, you may remember when this saga began, at one time we had 3 areas of low pressure that were a concern. We had 3 invests in the Atlantic, and I'm happy to report that the third has, of its own, died. Now we had Marco.
The third, which was going to be Zeppo.
Well, it was going to be Nana. Nana. How could you not love a storm named Nana? Come on. Everybody has a Nana, and you love your Nana.
Be no rainfall, it'd be cookies.
If you're a fan of Peter Pan, you know Nana was the lovable dog that took care of the kids. How could you not love a storm named Nana? But no, that area of concern has, of its own, died out. So right now, at least, in behind Laura, there's nothing developing in the Atlantic that we need to keep an eye on. So for a week or so, at least, that's good news.
Oh, dear Lord. Remember, you can use 311 as your start to resources all over Louisiana. 311 is funded by all the United Ways in Louisiana, and you can get evacuation information, shelter information, food information, medical information, preparedness information. They can pretty much give you any kind of hookup you need, and they can also help you if you're, it's unfortunate, but sometimes there are people that get a little over the edge with their anxiety. They can also basically give you some facts as they know them that might help you a little bit with that. But they're a great resource for all of Louisiana.
There are things, though, that some of these numbers won't help with, and you're just going to have to do your own homework. For instance, a couple of storms back, somebody said, if I dial that 311 number, can they tell me where I can find a gas can? No, probably not.
Probably not.
You're just going to have to go and do some shopping and find a gas can. Which, by the way, here in Baton Rouge, Lowe's has pallets full of gas cans. Gas cans don't last. Have you ever noticed?
No, I didn't.
I've had 5-gallon gas cans that like got brittle on me and cracked, and I've wound up with like 4 gallons of gas leaking out into my lawn. Thank God, But
well, I have got 6 5-gallon gas cans from Gustav in my attic.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you keep them in your attic. See, that's not me. I'm not smart enough to get them out of the weather.
Well, it might be worse.
They're
it might be worse.
Well, they're in the carport, but and not with gas in them, by the way, in the carport.
No.
Because that's an accident waiting to happen. But remember that they can't answer every question. Some things you're just going to have to go discern. Who's got gas? Who's got gasoline? I don't know.
Now, I will tell you what they are very, very good at 311. If you have a power company problem, they have a pretty direct hookup that can get you estimates. I was worried. Our power went out Saturday morning under beautiful clear skies. There were about 2,700 of us. Somebody hit a pole.
Right.
But if you have power problems, particularly if you've got somebody in your household that recently became dependent on electricity for like a medical device or something, call that 311 number today and they will hook you up. They will put you in touch with the people that can assist you, put you on the first repair list, make sure your generator's operating, all that other good stuff.
Tomorrow morning, we're going to do our podcast, as usual, from La Divina Italian Cafe in Baton Rouge. And we're also going to talk some more ways you could be better prepared for Hurricane Laura as she makes her way inland.
Again, keep an eye and an ear on local media. Tomorrow morning, we will be taking questions on Facebook Live as we broadcast. In the meantime, be smart, okay? Get prepared, stay safe.
And may God bless. Take care. We'll talk soon.